My name is Eric Wowoh. I'm from Liberia, Africa. I am the founder of Change Agent Network. Our mission is to connect underserved communities in Liberia with global partners to launch Christ-centered schools to break the cycle of poverty that is sustained through daily school fees payment system. Well, before I proceed, this is my story. When I was growing up in Liberia as a child, I lived in a home just like this, made out of dirt bricks, thatched roof. My parents were very poor, had no education. My parents were not Christian. We never heard about Christ. So they were African religion people. They believe in voodoo and juju. As children, we had to help our parents on the farm to provide food for our family to eat. We ate one time a day. There was no 3 square meals, it was just one meal a day. Um, so I lived that way. There was no school for me to go to. In the process, I have to sell bread in baskets on my head to be able to educate myself, pay for my own school fees. But our life remained very stable and peaceful with little hope and no opportunity until 1989. In 1989, the Liberian Civil War started. Within the first year of the war, the country sank into total chaos. There was no food, no water, no hope, and no help coming from anywhere. So one day, my mom asked me to go fishing. As a 12-year-old boy, I walked 4 hours to the river and spent 2 days on the river fishing. On my return from fishing, from my fishing trip, I was captured by a bunch of child soldiers to be turned into a child soldier myself to become part of the revolution that was going on. So I was tortured, beaten, and left to die. Miraculously, God saved my life, and I left Liberia with a broken arms. I couldn't use my both arms when I crossed the border into Ivory Coast, a French-speaking country, to Liberia. I crossed the border without knowing where I was going as a 12-year-old, and I arrived in one of these refugee camps. From Ivory Coast, I traveled for the next 14 years from one refugee camp to the other. 14 years in 12 different refugee camps across the West African continent. So, countries in 12 different places. So I ended up in Nigeria, where I stayed for 10 years straight in one refugee camp until the US government showed up there in 2006. I was rescued by the US government and brought to America on the Refugee Resettlement Program. Lafayette, Louisiana was the home that was chosen, my new home in America. I'm on occasion, so I got there. I got to Lafayette, Louisiana, settled down, came to America without a passport, no ID, no address, no phone number. Didn't even know how to use an ATM machine when I got here. Shocking, complete culture shock. Still to today, still a culture shock for me, you know. But this is the problem. The problem is a little country called Liberia. Liberia was founded by the United States of America, by free slaves from the United States of America, purchased by the US Congress for $100,000. Liberia has a population of 4.5 million people, a very little country with a lot of problems. The size of Liberia is like the size of the state of Ohio, but a little bit bigger than Tennessee, by the way. So that's Liberia. We have the lowest enrollment rate of children in school in the whole world. The unemployment rate, as you can see from your screen, 85%. Poverty ratio is 80%. Monthly minimum wage is $100, 60% literacy rate. That's a big problem we have in Liberia. So, what is the solution? For me, the solution is education. Why education? I believe that education is the only gift that you give to a man that they takes for them forever. Even when they die with their gift. And how do I know that to be true? When I was a refugee in Nigeria in 2002, a friend of mine gave me this computer, a Nigerian friend. I learned how to use that one computer in a refugee camp, taught by another refugee. And then I realized that to whom much is given, much is required. You are blessed to be a blessing to the world. So I decided to use the one computer to train other refugees in the camp how to use the computer. So I put it up, and I trained. Within that first year, recruited a lot of people. We trained about 700 refugees, built 2 schools in the refugee camp until my coming to America. Our motto is quite simple. Change Agent Network provide the expertise with the local people in Liberia to build, operate, and maintain the school that is built. Global partners or Friends of Liberia give a one-time high-impact donation to help pay for building materials, and the local community provide the land for the school to be built. They volunteer their time and services to build the school. The school is sustained financially through a daily low fees collection system. The people in Africa live on a daily basis. They don't have monthly income or yearly income. So we have a daily fees system. This is one of the campuses where we built so far. We built 14 schools across the land of Liberia. We have 3 campuses across Liberia at the moment, and we are in 5 counties across the 15 counties of the nation. We have 10 more to go. Currently, I educate about 1,400 students in Liberia. And then Ebola showed up last year, May, shut everything down across the country. I left Liberia 2 weeks before the crisis and came over to America. Well, the difference is this. 2 years ago, 25,000 Liberian students sat down for the university exam, and not one person passed it. In our school, we have 85% graduation rate. That makes it different. I'm not alone in this work. I have my friends from the refugee camp who are working with me in Liberia and here in the US. Currently, I wish to desperately return to Liberia next month, but I cannot go because of the Ebola crisis. At the moment, we're trying to raise $200,000 to reopen all of our schools and help 1,000 of our former students return to school since the Ebola crisis, and to, of course, continue to transform Liberia through education. I hope that you have found a place in your heart to partner with me as we transform the country through education. Thank you.